Welcome back to Penny for Your Shots. I'm Penny Fitzgerald, and I believe we make business way too serious sometimes. Deanna Dolecki and Ashley Ruggeri are doing things differently. They've built a business and a podcast around being fully themselves, having fun, and letting people see the humans behind the work. And honestly, that's one of the smartest business strategies there is. We talk about authenticity, following the fun, and trusting that you don't have to be perfectly polished to make an impact. And because this conversation goes exactly where a great girlfriend conversation should, we also get into bangs, bar soap, ketchup on eggs, and a few other very important topics. Here are Deanna and Ashley. For my audience's benefit, give us your names and tell us who you are, what you do, and we'll go from there.
Do you want to go first, Ashley? I always go first. You go first.
I feel like I always go first, but I'm happy to go first for you today because Deanna's been having quite the last couple of weeks with Mercury in retrograde. Everything that has gone wrong has gone wrong. I
Yes.
am Ashley Ruggeri. I am Deanna's co-host for Ducks Unplugged. I also have the pleasure of working with her at Blue Duck Agency. I am her account director on her new business team. We have known each other for over 7 years, over seven
Has it been
years
7 years?
It's been
Wow.
7 years. Yes.
Wait, so
'Cause
we'd be legally married if we lived together or whatever, right? So
Is
does
that
that mean
7 or
something?
10?
I don't
I
know.
don't know exactly what it is.
Stuck with me. That's what it
I
means.
am I'm absolutely stuck with you. I am also a mom of an 8-year-old. I am a wife of a wonderful husband. I am an unapologetic Formula One fan, an avid reader, and I do love a good cocktail. And I know at some point we'll talk about
Mm,
that too.
for
But that's a
sure.
little bit about me.
That was a great
Awesome.
intro. I'm Deanna
Thanks.
Dolecki. I am also co-host of Ducks Unplugged, and I'm president of Blue Duck Agency. We are a digital email agency. We've been around for well over 20 years at this point. And so I'm responsible for the team and running, overseeing the day to day. And we're a boutique agency in the sense that with a lot of other agencies out there, you have a team that kind of sells you in and then you get handed off. We adopt a very different approach where who you meet with and who you talk to from the start is who you have throughout the sort of life of your relationship with us. And I'm always involved, either heavily in the upfront part or behind the scenes. But we're a pretty hands-on boutique agency, so I do a little bit of everything. And Ashley is absolutely one of my key go-tos. Funny story we can tell later. I almost didn't hire her, but definitely one of my best hires. But I almost didn't hire her, so thank God we met. And yeah, I'm in a different life phase than Ashley, which makes our podcast quite interesting to listen to. But I have two grown children. I have a son who's 20 and a daughter who's 18, heading into college in a month, which is so crazy. And so I'm about to
Wow.
be kind of an empty nester. I am divorced and dating. And so I'm entering into this new chapter. Not quite sure where it's going to lead me, but I'm going in with
Yeah.
gusto. So, yeah,
Well, I
I am
love that.
not a
And
Formula One fan.
Okay.
yeah,
It's
well,
okay.
yeah, it's good to have varied interests. It's good to talk about all of it. I love that. I love that you guys are, on your podcast talking about things from different perspectives. And, as
Yeah.
a boomer, I'm happy to help, with a third opinion today. So,
We love our
Amazing.
boomers. Absolutely.
yeah.
Yes.
Well, wonderful. Okay. One, sorry, Deanna, would you tell us the story of the name of your company? Because I think that's so fascinating and it just really goes to
Sure.
show, it really explains your philosophy, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. We actually had a very different name when we first started 20 plus years ago. It was a very different company. We were focused more on sort of direct mail, if everybody remembers what that
Mm,
was,
I
back
do.
in the day. And it was really more of a direct marketing based agency. And about, what is it, like 2.5 years ago at this point, Ashley,
Yes.
we ended up getting to a place where like this doesn't really reflect us anymore, this name. We're now heavily email marketing, digital based, doing a lot of video. And so we needed to change things up. And Ashley loves to tell the story of I just want to be in an elevator with somebody and I want somebody somebody to ask me who we are. And I want the name to be like, huh, what? Like, who are you? And so we morphed into something that is very, very different. And it's called Blue Duck Agency. And how we got to that is we have something that we call No Meeting Wednesdays. And so literally nobody's allowed to book, theoretically, book meetings on Wednesdays. And that's your day to, I feel very, very strongly that we get caught up in the to-do list and all the things that we have to check off by the end of the day. And nobody takes the time, when you're caught up in that space to just step back and think or play with something that you don't normally do on a day-to-day basis, read some articles, go play with AI, go try to, whatever. And so I was doing this on one Wednesday, and I fancy myself a creative. I drive my creative team crazy. And so I was doing these, like, developing billboards for our agency, which, like, I don't even know why I was doing it, if I'm being honest. And one of them was, I found this really cool image that's on the homepage of our website right now, blueduckagency.com. And it's literally just an entire, visual of yellow ducks, like rubber ducks, with one blue duck right in the middle.
Mm.
And that, like, really resonated with me. And I'm like, that's exactly what we're trying to do here as an agency. We all say the same things, we all sell similar things, right? It's so hard to stand out as an agency, but that one visual just, like, gets you right away. And then layer on the duck piece, which is, you're calm on top of the water, but you're paddling for your little life underneath. That's what we do for our clients, right? We make your jobs easy, we make it look easy, but we are working tirelessly underneath that water to produce for you and deliver for you. And so that image, literally that billboard, right, became our agency name, Blue Duck Agency. And then Ashley gets her elevator goal of Blue Duck Agency. What's that, right? And so that's, we morphed into it. And it also just sounds more agency. It sounds more digital, and it just better reflects our brand and who we are. But that's how it came about. And we did this
That's
huge
fun.
rebrand of everything a couple of years ago.
Okay. Yeah, and that
Yeah.
makes so much sense because when you're talking about how you follow with the client from the very get-go, learning about the company, learning about the brand, and then moving it all the way through the actual deliverables and, like, talking about their brand, you'd
Hmm.
have to stay in touch with the client. That makes you different, I think, than a lot of different marketing agencies out there who,
Yeah.
pass it off to somebody else to do the actual
Correct.
work. Yeah.
Correct. Ashley sells it in, and Ashley's the person that's overseeing it. She doesn't go
Mm-hmm.
away. Eventually, as you become, you might have some more people on your team, but Ashley doesn't go
Mm-hmm.
away. And so that's a big differentiator for us, and I think it really, it's allowed us to have pretty incredible retention rates for the clients that we do
Yeah.
have. The relationships are
Yeah.
pretty deep. Yeah.
Ashley, how did you come to the idea of the podcast, or what brought the podcast about?
So it's like Deanna was saying, all agencies really say and sell the same things. It's about who you're working with, the relationships and the partnerships that you built. And we always get a compliment from our clients that they feel like we're an extension of their team. We really come in, we get it, we work hard with them, we have fun with them. And you don't really get to see that from us until you start working with us, until you get on the phone with us. So we wanted to figure out different ways to be able to show who we are, show our personality, show what you're going to get. So we were doing this massive brainstorming session about a year and a half ago at the start of the year, throwing everything at the board. Like, what could we try? What could we test? Because it's just getting harder and harder and harder to do the prospecting out there. Like, any agency or company you're talking to is having the same problem. So how do we get in front
Yeah.
of people? And we threw out the idea of a podcast. Like, what better way to get to know somebody than listen to them and how they think and how they speak and how they just are as a person. And at first it was Deanna's podcast. That's the idea that we threw out. A podcast from the president is like
Of
was the rough
course, right?
working title, right?
Right.
And I just remember Deanna saying, "Okay, I'll think about this, but I don't want no video. There will be no video. This will be audio only." And I was like, "Well, that's not going to work because the way that people consume content these days is all video."
All video.
It's
So we
changed so
started,
much, right?
it's
Even
I
in the
know.
2.5 years
so
since I've been
different.
podcasting.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
Yes. so different between, your YouTube channel and your socials and like the little clips that you grab and you send out to people in your newsletter. So we're like, well, no, we'll talk through this. And then it continued to evolve. And Deanna and I have always had a really good relationship and really good back and forth banter. And
Yeah.
really, when you're coming in to work with us, I'm the person you're talking to. And many times Deanna is coming in on those calls too. So, what better way to really show this is who we are than this podcast with the two of us? And we named it Ducks Unplugged. It was, a riff off of our Blue Duck agency because it's really these unplugged, unscripted kind of conversations that we're having. And it could be anything
Yeah.
from, well, it started very heavy marketing in the beginning, but there's only so
Mm.
much marketing
Mm-hmm.
that you can talk about over and over
Yeah.
and over again until you kind of hit the
Right.
threshold. Um, but then work and life and career and who we are, like it's really all encompassing and it's continued to
Yeah.
evolve from there. But it's been a really good tactic to number one, our current clients. We always get like, wow, this is really cool to hear you guys and how you speak and how you think. And you sound exactly like you are
Yeah.
when
Well,
you're working with us, which is just so validating.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny. We started with the marketing piece of it, and then what people really sort of globbed onto, if you will, is that a word? That's a word.
Yeah, sure.
Is yeah, we'll make it a word.
It is today.
Is it? Yeah, exactly. Is the banter and the back and forth, and like we're so different, but like we're also not. And so, and
Mm-hmm.
Ashley's coming from a different point in her life. We both have been through a lot in our careers and a lot in our just lives, And so all that has sort of really started bubbling up and making for really good conversation and really good debate. And so, we cover topics that are they're more serious, like is being nice overrated? What are some challenges you've had at work? How to handle difficult conversations or whatever. But we
Mm.
also talk about ridiculous things like is bar soap better than
Yes.
using a loofah, or like we've had, so like we really are bangs. Should anybody have bangs? So like, we run the gamut. Like it's, and our whole goal is just to let people unplug with us for
Mm-hmm.
15 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever it is. We have lots of different type sized content episodes that we post out there. And we just want people to enjoy listening in, hanging out with us, all relatable content. It's all stuff everybody has either gone through or goes through, right? And
Mm-hmm.
just have some fun for a little piece of
We
their
try
day.
to we try to make business so serious.
Yes,
Oh,
That's
this is my
right.
exactly.
business. I'm trying to build it and my brand is so important to me and it's all of this. And we forget to step back and have fun. And I truly
Right.
believe that your business only grows if you're having fun. If you're
Yeah.
staying creative and having fun and enjoying what you're doing, that's when it flows. That's when you
Yes.
can be of service to others and really,
Right.
do your thing.
I totally
Yeah.
agree with that. Yeah, and so it sounds so silly to say, but we say it all the time, and it's true. Is you want to work with people you like. If
Mm,
you have
so true.
options and I feel confident that both of these companies can deliver, I'm going to go with the one that I think I'm going to like working with more, right?
Oh,
And
for
so we
sure.
want to authentically just be ourselves, and we're either for you or we're not for you, and that's okay.
Hmm.
But I've always, and Ashley's actually the same way. We've both been fairly young throughout our careers for the roles that we've had. And part of that is I am who I am,
Correct.
and
Hmm.
take me or leave me. And I can be really serious. I can be really tough. I have very high expectations, but I'm also, this is what you get. I'm in a ponytail and you know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
I'm going to be who I am. It doesn't mean the work's going to be any less serious, but we are who we are. And,
We're going to
and
have
I think
fun
that's,
doing it.
we're going to enjoy
Mhm.
because we're in a creative field,
Hmm.
you have to have fun with what you're doing, and you
Yeah.
have to enjoy. I mean, Ashley's like the biggest data geek in the world and she has fun while she's doing it,
Hmm.
Yep.
and so anyway, that comes through. We try to have that come through
Yeah.
in the podcast.
Yeah.
And the other thing
Y-
we talk about all the time is just like humanity, and everybody is
Mm,
looking to make a connection with somebody. And we
Yeah.
forget that too. Like the whole very polished button up side of business, there's a time and a place for that, but it's not here. You need to make that human connection with people because that is what we do in our jobs every day as marketers. We have to
Yeah.
figure out how to have our clients make a human connection with people. So we're starting that, like
so true.
practicing what we preach every day on that one.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, that's so true. You have to really be present in the moment. Everyone wants to feel seen and heard,
Yeah.
and to give them that and to have fun while you're doing it, that's just such a gift.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
it's
mentioned
true.
earlier, Deanna, about how it's hard to get in front of people now because,
Yeah.
it's really hard to just to be seen, I guess, and to be differentiated. But there's a
Yeah.
trust issue, don't you feel like? Because there's all kinds of issues or reasons for it. Like AI is out there, so now there are all these pop-up companies who are
Mm,
using AI and thinking they can do the thing, and
Yes.
really, it's a human connection.
Yes.
Branding and marketing, it's all human.
Yeah. I love AI, and I have
Mm-hmm.
named my
Oh,
chat
same, same.
GPT. Her name is
Yep.
Janice, and there's a time
Oh,
and a place to use Janice. And I love Claude too. Claude has very different, it has skills, and Janice has skills, and so we use AI. We're not anti AI, but AI can't replace creativity or like out of the box thinking. And if you actually use AI on a regular basis, you get a lot of the same stuff over and over again. And there's a lot of stuff
yes.
that's wrong.
mhm.
I'm actually surprised at how often it's wrong, and it's fine. Like I'm not expecting it to be perfect, but I think that people have gone too far over to the AI is my solution for everything, and I'm just going to take it all
Mm-hmm.
in house. It's good enough, right? And
Mm,
maybe for the first year you can get, or short period of time you can get away with
mm-hmm.
it, but what's going to happen is it's all going to start being the same stuff, and nobody's
Yeah.
going to stand out. And because we're all using the same tools and it's saying and doing the same things,
Yep.
it's going to catch up, right? And when
Yeah.
it comes to marketing and agencies, the people and the thinking and the ideas and the creativity, you can't fully replace that with AI. You just can't.
Yeah.
And so I'm not sure it's everybody has realized that yet, but it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where right now it's really hard to get the meeting and to get on the phone, because I think a
Mm-hmm.
lot of companies are leaning heavily on too heavily on that. And that's
Mm-hmm.
creating issues for agencies, but also internal marketing teams. I'm seeing a
Mm.
lot of people moving companies and a lot of positions being eliminated because, again, I think you're in that space where people think that they can do it all with AI right now, and it just hasn't burst yet. Do you agree with that, Ashley?
I
Actually,
agree
since
with
we're talking.
that. I totally agree with that. No, I think you're right with the
Yeah. And
trust. You have
you,
to be able to build the trust. And that's something that you can very quickly tell now with AI what is produced and what is actual real people
Yeah.
human content. So that's what our goal is, like to build the trust and be able to be a real person that is going out there in the world to speak to prospects and whoever else we're going to work with.
And ideas that are
yeah,
going to help you
absolutely.
stand out, and perform.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think, when as a general, just a person out there looking at social media, scrolling it, you see things and you just don't feel that connection. And it's probably AI. You
Yeah.
may not be able to
Mhm.
put your finger on, feel like a bond with this person or this creator or this brand, but
Yeah.
it may be just because it's not a real human behind it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, or it's overly produced. So that was one of the big things that we
Yes.
Yes.
learned over the last year and a half or so with the podcast. At the beginning, we were spending way too much time making everything try to be perfect. And at one point, we had to sit with ourselves and be like, we just need to start getting some things out there. And it's going to look like us, sound like us, and we need to get the feedback from people to see what they want. And
Right.
that has been so freeing because we're able to then move faster and see what our
Yeah.
next pivot needs to be. Like, for example, we've done full episodes. We've had like a pretty strict weekly schedule of full episodes. And over the past few weeks, we've introduced something new that Deanna is terming podlets. And
Yeah.
it's like the cutest name in the world, number one. And
It's
number
very
two,
cute.
it's just a 10 to 15-minute conversation on one topic. So it's bite sized. You can listen to it while you're unloading the dishwasher or folding a basket of laundry. And it literally can be anything from bangs. So that's one of
That
the
was
topics that we talked about the other day, like why do people cut bangs? Or can you be too loyal? But it's just like an opportunity to get something out and have a thought in a conversation. And they've been doing really well so far. But
Really
that was
well.
something where we're like, let's just test this. And it's not going to be perfect. And we're going to
It's
try
not.
it. And we've received really good
Yeah.
feedback from it. So,
But that's something that's a good example with the like we trust ourselves enough that we know what we're talking about and we're going to put it out there. It's not perfect. It's not going to be super polished, and that's okay because that's
That's
life, right?
preferred.
That's
Right.
authentic.
Exactly.
We have two episodes that are going to be coming out in the next week. One is about my daughter's going to college, and she won't even share her Amazon wish list with me because she wants to do it all herself. And I'm like, I'm paying,
Oh,
kid, I'm paying for it, right? Like, can
yeah.
I see it? Can I just like
She's
have an
spreading her
opinion?
wings.
She's spreading her wings, but that's like a real everyday challenge that people in my life stage
Mm,
have. And she's in the thick of summer with her 8-year-old son and dealing with all the camps and all the and
mhm.
like she wants to like, talk about that cocktail, right? And so these are real everyday challenges that a lot of people have. And again, we're just going to put it out there and we're going to see how
mhm.
people respond to it. And hopefully it's not polished, it's not perfect, but it's real. And
Yeah.
and so these little podlets, which again, the name could not be cuter, right? Are
Mhm.
meant to hopefully address an area of podcasting that really is kind of untapped right now. It's sort of like everything short form under 3 minutes or long form 30 minutes. And this is sort of in that sweet spot that we're hoping we can capture that's really not addressed right now.
Yeah, that's interesting because you look at podcasts out there and some of them are 3 and 4 hours long. I'm like,
I
who has
know.
time
Too
to
much.
listen to all of that? I mean, I guess if you have a really long commute or you have a job where you can listen while you're working or something like that, that would be, I just can't imagine listening that long to one
Well,
podcast, one
Well, so I
topic.
have a podcast. I'm obsessed with reality TV. I'm not proud of
Yeah.
it, but I'm obsessed with reality TV. And so I have this one podcast that is one of my top podcasts, but every time he publishes, it's like usually 2 hours, an hour and a half, an hour and
Yeah.
45. And it's hard because
Yeah.
it's too long, right? Like there are
Mm-hmm.
bits and pieces I try to carve out because you have the agenda and you can move it, or I'm starting and stopping and starting and stopping. And I would
Yes.
say 75% of the time I don't go back to it.
Yep.
And that's frustrating because like I wanted to listen to the rest of it, but it's too much. I think we're all, I mean, I say this jokingly, but there's some truth to it. I think we're giving ourselves ADHD. I mean, it's
Oh,
like how
yeah.
many times I'm like watching a show, but I'm coloring on my phone, like
Mm.
it's just,
Mm-hmm.
it's not just, it's not great.
Yeah. When you multitask
Yeah.
too, I mean, I think we were sold a bill of goods when women are good multitaskers. Well, bullshit. Nobody's a good
Yeah, no.
multitasker.
Yeah.
No.
Something
Yeah.
gives. Yeah. Something
Yeah,
gives.
exactly. Your quality
Yeah.
of work is or quality of whatever it is that you're doing is going to suffer in one way or another.
Yeah.
Deanna, I got to ask you because you mentioned earlier that you almost didn't hire Ashley. What's that about?
She's
Um,
so lucky that she did, though.
I mean, come
she
on.
So lucky.
I
I know.
am. And this is the second time this has happened to me in my career, but I fancy myself a pretty good hirer, if you will. I have a
Yeah.
pretty unique
Judge of character.
I have a unique interviewing approach that I learned
Okay.
at a pretty early age in my career by somebody else, and so poor little Ashley, right, who came in for her interview. I walked away honestly feeling, we use the B word, boring. I walked away thinking she
Womp
was
womp.
boring. I really did, and I was
What
nervous
was what were you
because
asking her that made
the
her
the
the
poor thing
answers not
was
quite?
just showing up. She was just being professional. She had come from the banking world and then also
Oh,
the energy efficiency
there it
world.
is.
Neither of those
Very
are
serious.
very
Very
Yeah.
sexy, right?
serious.
And she was just being professional. But my my style is I try to get somebody to sort of open up a little bit, and she was just a little bit more buttoned up than usual. She'll
Hmm.
tell the story and say she hung up the phone and is like, I am not getting a call back. That did not
Literally.
go well.
I was like, that's it.
But there was so much about her that I loved. And so what we ended up doing is in those instances, because I know I'm not always right, and there was enough there that it's like, let's push this a little bit further. And so let's have a lunch. Let's all get together. Let's have lunch. Let's, see if we can, you know, loosen up a little bit and kind of get to
Here's a
know her a little
martini.
bit. And no, not at that one. And so
Okay.
No.
we will have a cocktail
Not
on our
yet.
podcast sometimes, but I was wrong. And, I mean, it couldn't have been more wrong. I mean, if anybody is down for anything at the company, she's the one that's going to do it first. I mean,
Nice.
100%. She wore a butter costume once for a holiday video we did. I mean, she has no shame. God
All
love her.
in.
And yeah. And but yeah, I almost didn't because, in client service and when you have to be working with clients and you need to be able to build that relationship and sort of take those walls down a little bit, depending on the circumstance and the situation. And she hadn't had agency experience before. And so yeah, but Ashley is not boring. She is the least
I'm
boring
here.
person. Yeah. And she was my podcast co-host. I was like, well, if I'm doing
Uh-huh.
this, you're going down with me and doing it with me. And she's been incredible. So
Yeah, no, I'm glad that I got the opportunity because I mean, you think about it from my perspective as the person being interviewed, and it's such a rigid interview structure typically. Like you come in,
Yeah.
it's like, where do you want to be in 5 years? Tell me about your
I
experience.
don't do
Like
that. I
Yeah.
don't do
Deanna does
that.
not do that. So I'm number one, caught off guard by the questions she's asking me and the interview process. And number two, I'm coming from like very regulated industries and
Right.
just very professional. And
Mm-hmm.
I just never had been a part of an interview process with an agency with a culture like we have. So I'm glad you gave me the opportunity for, the lunch because it worked out. But I came out with my little buttoned up, polished self like they teach you to do in school. And here I
Mm-hmm.
was.
That makes perfect sense. But okay,
Yeah.
but now I'm really curious about what you ask when how is your interviewing different, Deanna, than others?
My philosophy is I read your resume, right? I'm looking for the intangibles. I feel most strongly that the intangibles of a person is what's going to, one, help them fit in. We're not a huge
Mm-hmm.
company. Like Ashley said, the culture is really, really important. We're 100% virtual. So I need every piece of the puzzle to fit really well together, right? So what I'm looking for, and I ask the same question every single time I interview somebody. Doesn't matter your level, doesn't matter how many years of experience you have. I start with, all right, take me back. I want to go back to high school, college. How did you do grade wise? Why did you pick your marketing, whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
degree? What led you to that? And then let's just talk about your journey and just talk to me. Tell me about sort
Mm-hmm.
of why you went where you went, why you left, what led you. Did people fall into things? Did they take the initiative? I want to know
Mm-hmm.
all of it. And what's really fascinating, especially for people who have been working a little bit longer, is some people are super put off by that. Right? They're like, well, I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to. Sometimes they just skip over what I said on like grades and
Oh my
whatever. They
gosh.
don't they don't feel like they need to talk about that, right? Like they just want to get into the most recent
Current
stuff and
stuff.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And some people are like jazzed up about it. They're like, hey, okay, let's dive into this. I love talking about my story. I love telling you about my journey. And
Yeah.
and I ask detailed questions. So as you start talking, oh, well, interesting. Well, what led you to that? Or tell me about that experience. Like,
Yeah.
so that's where you understand the makeup of somebody a little bit more. And that's how you can
Yeah.
get to the intangibles. I'm not always right. Like I don't always nail it, right? But for the most part, you can get to those intangibles. And it all came from this when I was, I don't know, a million years ago, right? When I was interviewing for this job, it was like an account manager job. I was still very early in my career. And the
Mm-hmm.
president of the company, and we're talking like $150 million company, right? So the
Mm-hmm.
president of the company took 2 hours to interview me as an account
Wow.
manager, right? And he asked me and everything under the sun, my field hockey coach's name when I was in high school, right? And
Holy
and I just
cow.
was fascinated by the interview process. So I got the job,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was able to build a relationship with him, and he started pulling me in because I was kind of so intrigued by the whole process. Took me
Uh-huh.
under his wing and just had me sit with him when he interviewed other
Wow.
people, and I was able to learn from him. And it's a very unique approach, but you
Mm-hmm.
can learn a lot about somebody
I'm
and
sure.
with that approach, and whether they're going to fit into what motivates them, and if they're going to sort of work hard. One thing I like to say too is, are you looking for a job, or are you looking for a career? There's nothing wrong with
Mm-hmm.
either one, but
Mm.
for our
Yep.
company, we're looking for people who want a career and are looking to further their career, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so trying to again, you ask somebody point blank, they're just going to say what you want to hear. You can get to that through their
Right.
decisions and their
Mhm.
experience and their journey.
Yeah. Getting curious about, what's underneath that.
Yeah,
What's
yeah,
underneath that answer? Yeah, that makes
yeah.
sense. It's
Just
just,
really getting to know
um,
somebody.
yeah, yeah. I'm as you're asking these or talking about it, I'm thinking back to my own experience and what led me to where I am. And it's just a series of not mistakes, but a series
Well,
of
that's okay.
uh,
I mean, yeah, there's nothing wrong with
yeah.
that.
No, because you learn a lot
Mhm.
from those things, but just being in several different careers that ended not because of, a different decision that the company made. So
Mhm.
bankruptcies that these
Mhm.
different things, but all of those, what seemed like heartbreak in the time, led to something bigger and something better
Yeah.
always.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it wasn't
Yep.
necessarily my choice. I could have chosen to leave earlier when I saw that, oh, this isn't going the way it's supposed to go,
Yeah.
and taking the initiative. So yeah, that's interesting. I'm
So
not sure.
that's I would have asked you about that. I would have been like,
Yeah,
how come you didn't leave not judging, just how come
yeah,
you didn't leave sooner? And then what did you do when it happened? We're all going to get hit with like the
Mhm.
yeah,
bad moment at
something.
some point in our careers, right? In
Yep,
our lives. What do you do? Like, how do you respond to that?
yeah,
And that's what I'm looking for.
yeah, yeah. And I think I would have taken it to I learned to pivot, and I'm resilient. You find the answer in taking the first step. And
Mhm.
moving
Yep.
forward.
But resiliency, that's going to take you far, right?
Oh, for
In
sure.
life, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not
Yeah,
everybody has it. Some people just and shut down, and they can't
uh,
come back. You know what I mean? And
mm-hmm.
so, and again, no judgment. It's just we're
Yeah.
looking for the right fit for us, for
Well, I
our
take care of
culture.
that for you. I judge myself.
Yeah, same,
I
same.
mean, it's just
We all do.
you have to give yourself grace, but sometimes it's hard because you look
Yeah,
back. I look back, I'm like, oh my God, I could have seen that coming.
so
Or
my son's
hmm
20, and he's very much in a sort of trying to figure it out place right now. I just had this conversation
hmm
with him the other day. Like, he's not taking the traditional path right now. Like, my daughter's going to school. She wants to be a vet. She's going into animal science. Like,
mm,
she's doing her thing, right? My
hmm
son, he's tried criminal justice, taken some courses on that. That's not fitting. He tried an EMT course. He's like, he wanted to be a firefighter. He's like,
hmm
well, it's more medical than it is fire. And I tried to
mm,
explain to him the other day, like, you're doing the same thing that kids are doing in college. You're just doing it differently. Like,
right,
you take classes, you figure out what fits, what doesn't fit. That's part of the
right.
process, right? You're
Especially
not
as young as he
failing.
is.
You're not
No.
wasting time. You're trying to
Yeah.
figure out and he's a
Yeah.
huge workout kid, and he loves personal fitness. And it's like, he's like, well,
hmm
maybe I actually want to go into fitness, right? It's like,
Uh-huh.
yeah, there's lots of jobs in fitness. Let's try to figure that out, right? And
Mhm.
hmm
so you're taking a different path. There's nothing wrong with that, and you're not failing. You're not failing at all. You're working through, and taking things off the list is as important as putting stuff on, right?
Exactly. Follow the joy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Follow the joy always. And
It's a great
he's
line.
young and that's great for him, but I don't want to make it sound like, well, he can do that because he's young, because it's never too
You
late
Nope.
to
Correct.
The
try something new and
This
figure it out.
podcast is a great example for
Oh,
us,
for
like, I
sure.
never
Me
would have
too.
thought, like I said to Ashley, I don't want to be on video. Like, I
Here
never
you
thought I
are.
would have. Here I am. The stuff she gets me to do with the reels, like, I can't even handle it anymore. At this point, I have no shame at this point. Like, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, but like, that was us putting ourselves out there and taking a
Mhm.
risk and doing something different and
Yeah.
pivoting. And so, like, it's never too late. Never.
No. Agreed.
I think too, when you're young, the fact that you're supposed to pick a career and a path
Oh,
at
it's
18,
ridiculous.
19, 20 years old, you don't even know who you are as a person. You're still a baby at that point.
Yeah.
So, and it's a very linear journey from there. There's not a lot of room for like super out of the box creative thinking because you're then supposed to get an apartment and start a life and like do all the things.
Just
Yep.
it's part of the process.
Correct. And so my son Albie is 8, and I remember last year, you go to the school thing, and they're talking about what the future looks like in the next couple of grades, and something that the principal said sticks with me. The jobs that these kids who are 8 and 9 years old today are going
Mhm.
to have in the future have not been developed yet. They are
Yeah.
jobs that they can't
Wow.
teach for. They don't
That's
know what they're going to
crazy.
be, but all they can do is help them be critical thinkers and think outside the
Oh,
box. So, like, the way that they have to
yes.
teach these kids is so different than how Amy and Ryan got taught, than how we got taught. It's just wild, the evolution of all of
Yeah,
this.
that's true. That's a
Uh-huh.
powerful statement. That's really
Yes.
true.
You have to let them like figure
It's
things
the
out and be
basics.
creative and problem
Yeah.
solve and all
Learn
that.
how
Critical
to
thinking.
fail, learn how
Yes.
to resilience, learn how
Exactly.
to come back,
Mhm.
right? Like those are the
Mhm.
skills that we need to be teaching. It's so
Yep.
true.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep. Emotional intelligence too, not to,
Yes.
you
Yes.
know, how to handle
Yes.
things when they don't go
So
your way, because they're not gonna.
so
No, they're
important.
not. I mean, you don't get out of this. I say this to my kids too. You don't get out of this world unscathed. Like you don't. Like
Right. Right.
nobody does. So
Mhm.
emotional
Yeah.
intelligence is huge.
Yeah. For sure. Okay. So bangs or no bangs? What's the comments on that?
Oh my gosh. We had horrific bangs at some points in our lives. There are
Oh,
photos in the episode that we posted. It's on our YouTube channel, Ducks Unplugged. I, in my
we shared.
head, in my head, I'm like, yeah, I do want bangs. And then I actively talk myself out of it every single time I have that thought. Because I'm like, no, I'm not going to do them. They're going to be weird. I've got curly hair. They're going to be weirdly curly in front of my face. Some people can pull them off. I cannot pull them off as much as my delusion tells me I want to be able to.
And it's a commitment. Like you're growing that
And
out for a long time.
yes,
So
Right.
trips.
Penny, when we I showed up at Ashley's house, so we film our podcast at Ashley's house,
Mhm.
and because she keeps asking herself about bangs. So did you know you can buy anything on Amazon? You can buy fake bangs. Like they're
What?
these little bangs that you
Sure
hook
can.
into your hair. So we bought them, and so
Oh, that's hilarious.
so you can see what you look like with bangs. And yeah, I look like Uma
Uh,
Thurman. Ashley,
You
you
did.
I really did. You didn't look that bad.
You didn't look bad either, but like I am not going to be doing my bangs every day like that. The
No.
number we posted it as a reel on our social pages. The number of text messages I got from family and friends being like, "Oh my gosh, did you get bangs? They look so good." And I was like, "No." Also, they're red. You can't
They
really
were
tell
not the
from the
right color.
video, but they were red.
Yeah,
just went
they did
through a
not.
phase where you dyed your
Yeah.
bangs red.
Just the
But
bangs.
so we're anti-bang. My boyfriend calls them
Okay.
the devil's curtains. So we're not,
No.
but some people can pull them off, right?
Yes.
So like
Mm-hmm.
Taylor Swift is a great example. She has
Yes.
the bangs, she rocks the bangs, they're part of her look. She looks great. But I would argue more people than not, no
Well,
bangs.
I had bangs for years and then
Oh,
finally grew them
same.
out, I don't know, in my 50s, I think. And now at in my 60s, I'm like, I think I'd look ridiculous in bangs now at this age. But then again, that's a judgment. And,
Yep.
should we be living to that kind of standard that just because it's not
Who
in
cares what
magazines
other
or big.
people think? No.
Exactly. Exactly.
But you can try it out, Penny. You can get your little
Yeah.
fake bangs on
Yep.
Amazon and you can have a bang day.
Have to try them.
Gosh. Where are you based out of, Penny? Because we've got the wildfire smoke right now that's like also clogging up
Oh,
everything.
no.
What? We do?
Iowa.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
you're in
Iowa.
Iowa.
Okay. Oh, so
Yep.
it's
What
very
wild?
hot by you today? Is it
Yes, it is
you're
very
doing you got the
hot.
heat wave? No, there's wildfires in Canada right now. That's why it's so cloudy and smoky. The sun was
Oh.
orange yesterday. Have you not been outside in the last
Oh.
2 days?
I did not go outside
Okay.
yesterday.
So go outside. It's like the wildfire smoke is to
I
us now,
I
and it's
I
making things
haven't
crazy.
showered in 3 days because I have no hot water. So I'm not
So
leaving the house until I
you're
can
inside.
shower. Let's be
Step on your
clear.
front porch. Go out on your front porch for 2 minutes. Not too
Okay.
long. The air quality's not great, but at least you can see.
Okay. I can't.
Just put on a cap. It's fine.
Yeah. 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 Nothing like what is it, an Irish bath? Is that what they call it? It's like, yes, it's my life. Yeah.
Something.
I
Oh my
can't.
gosh. Okay, so my biggest thing going outside, like, we have a garden, we have, the mailbox is, we're in Iowa, it's a ways. So
Yep.
to go outside, I have to put on a bra. I
Yeah.
hate that for
Oh,
me.
I hate that
So
for you too.
can I
Oh,
change your life by telling you about Bomba's tank tops? Bomba's tank
Yes,
tops now have a
please.
built-in bra, and for
Oh.
those that need a little more support,
Mm-hmm.
they are amazing. Amazing. You don't need to wear a bra.
Oh,
I
wow.
will be
Change your
Okay.
looking
life.
at that.
I will
Yep,
be
you need to
looking
get
that up.
one.
Not
Yep.
Sometimes
happening.
I go out and I just don't have one on. The poor neighbors are probably like, "Oh God, Ashley, go back inside." I'm
You're
like,
fine. You're in your space. You're fine.
yeah, I'm
It's a
in
no
my
it's a no
yard.
bra
Yeah,
zone. Yeah,
here's
it's a
this
no
is
bra
my
zone. You're
yard.
good.
Oh gosh. What was another thing we talked about when we were chatting the other day?
We talked a lot about some of the ridiculous debates we've had. I don't know if you
Yeah.
wanna some of the fun stuff like
Yeah.
the
The soap thing,
soap,
Yes.
making the bed. Ashley's
making the
Yes.
a
bed.
crazy person. Yeah, with the
So
bed.
we do our duck debates, and they started very innocently as just a let's try this theme, this content topic. And Deanna's like, you bring 5 hot button topics, I'll bring 5, and we'll just talk about them. And one of them was, should you make the bed every morning? And that is when Deanna learned I have an extreme aversion to germs. I do not make the bed every morning because the sheets have to air out. And I think you still question my sanity from that.
I
Like
definitely still
that
question
was
your
a
sanity.
tipping
Yeah.
point for our relationship.
It was early too. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God, oh my God. Like, so she literally said that if you make the bed every day, which I do for the most part, by the
I do
way,
too. Hmm.
you're trapping the germs because you're
Yes.
getting hot while you're sleeping and there
Yes.
are germs inside your blanket and you're trapping them. So you
Yes.
I
have to
don't
let them
think that's a
freeze
thing.
and
I
letting the germs out.
There are
Okay.
articles, there are scientific
She'll die on this
studies.
hill,
I
Benny.
will
She'll
die
die.
on this hill. Yes.
Scientific
But
studies by whom?
I
right,
will find them. I
exactly.
will send them to you.
Okay,
But
okay. I
she
want to see him.
eats in bed. So like that came up recently where no, don't roll your eyes. She eats in bed popcorn. Popcorn.
One kernel at a
That,
time.
oh my
One
God,
kernel
like
at a
I can't.
time. I've got
Stop
my
it.
like paper towels, one kernel at a time, just me. Sporadic instances and situations.
Can I share this? So the other story that I don't think this episode's come out yet, but it will come out. She shared recently, like last month, that her first apartment that she had by herself.
Oh
This is Ashley, okay?
God. This is me.
First apartment
Here we
that
go.
she had, she slept by her. She lived there by herself.
Uh-huh.
So she slept on the couch because she was afraid she was going to get a blood clot while she was sleeping, and
Mm,
sleeping on the couch
mm-hmm.
was closer to the door than her bedroom, so the EMTs would find her faster. She was
Correct.
on the
You had an
couch.
enormous apartment, your first one out?
No, I had an irrational amount of anxiety. Like just ridiculous. In my head it made so much sense at the
So it's just
time.
peeling the Ashley onion back is fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean, I
fun.
can't be the only one, right? Like there's got to be somebody else out there who maybe has done that. I don't know. Probably not. But we debate a lot of things, and we are often at the very opposite ends of the spectrum on what we think about these things. Here's another
Mhm.
one. Um,
Okay.
should you or would you put ketchup with your eggs?
Ugh.
Oh, hell no.
Thank you, Penny. Thank you. No.
Yes. Yes.
No. Actually, I don't put ketchup on anything.
Okay, so maybe you're not the right person to ask. You're an anti-ketchup person. But like I'm from New Jersey. So yeah, you
Uh-huh.
get your egg, pork roll on the hard roll, ketchup, salt and pepper. Like that is just what you do. Like ketchup and eggs go
Okay.
together.
They don't,
Mm.
though. They really
Mm-mm.
don't. Outside the
I'll
state
die
of
on
New
that hill
Jersey, they
too.
don't.
I'll
Yeah.
die on that hill
So
for
we just
Deanna and
trip
what she
onto
lives
these
with
little
every
nuggets
day.
sometimes. Yeah. I
I
mean, again, not all of
yeah.
our episodes are like this, but you just trip on these things throughout the conversation and I don't let it go, right? I'm like a dog on a bone. So yeah. So if peeling the Ashley onion.
Okay.
Yep,
Well,
it's fun.
what little tidbits about you, Deanna, have we discovered through this whole
That I'm more
Deanna
process?
normal
is
than Ashley.
she's
Yeah.
perfect and normal and she does nothing wrong and all of her opinions are correct and she
What
doesn't
if
have the
I
same craziness as I do.
so no, that's a great question. There has to be stuff. What have we discovered? I mean, Ashley flat out told me that she's 90% nice, 10% not nice, and I'm only 60% nice and 40% not nice. And I'm not even sure that was the right flip. She probably meant 60% not nice and 40% nice. But like
So,
what else? I'm
so
sure
we've definitely learned the whole bar soap versus liquid soap
The
versus
loofah
loofah.
thing.
there's
Mm-hmm.
nothing wrong with
So,
that.
but you lost that one in all the comments on our social media. Like people texted me. There was a lot of uproar on this one. So the question was, do you use bar soap or liquid soap? And I'm a bar soap girl, and I use it with a face cloth. So you put the bar soap on the face cloth. You use the face cloth. The face cloth is done, goes in the wash, and you
Yep.
continue on with your new face cloth the next day.
So
Deanna
many
is a
face cloths.
liquid soap and a loofah girl. And that is unacceptable in my mind and in the minds of many people who have provided
I
their
was
opinions.
surprised. I was surprised that I was the
Yeah.
minority on this.
I gotta tell you, I'm with you on this, Ashley, except for the bar. I would use liquid soap. I do use liquid soap on a washcloth
Which is
because you
that's
can wash the
acceptable.
washcloth. Yeah,
That's
Yep.
yeah, and
acceptable.
because the bar soap leaves a film on your shower.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't clean my own shower. So I'm
yeah,
so sorry to Deborah, my wonderful cleaning person. She
yeah.
cleans the bar soap
You could be
scum
more
off the
kind to
shower.
her if you really wanted to. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All
Poor
right.
Deborah.
Yeah.
So
Plus, the
my
bar
house
is going to have
cleaner,
some
no
germs
film.
growing on it, right?
Yes.
So
And it
no. So
sits
here's
in
what
its petri dish or
nope.
whatever. Like,
Nope.
no.
Nope, I've got the dish and it's got the little holes in it so it airs out. And then before I use the bar soap, I give it under the water. I give it a nice little scrub
Oh,
so
you
you
give it
get
a
the
little
whole
zhuzh
layer
zhuzh.
off. So
Okay.
No. There's
there's a
just
method to the
no.
madness.
It's just a hard it's a no. It's a no for me.
Leaving more film on the bathtub and on the
Yeah.
shower.
Although
No, I think we have discovered so I've got like a lot of quirks and Deanna finds herself in a lot of outrageous situations. So most of your
Okay.
stories, we do a segment called What the Duck in some episodes, and it's what it sounds like. It's like a crazy story for the week. And the things that Deanna finds herself in, you're like, wait, what? How?
so
How?
true.
Like what? So I think I get more of the quirks and you get more of the your life is just a
Just
sitcom
well,
kind
it
of
is. It's
scenario.
true.
Okay, now
It's that
you have to give me an example because you led me to the trough. Let me
So
drink.
so my boyfriend and I went to Florida recently and I'm older and menopause. I have to use the restroom a few times every night. All right. So I'm not proud of it, but what it is. So I don't even turn the light on at this point because I'm in and out. Right. So I get up in the middle of the night and I go to the restroom. And so I'm sitting there and it's dark. And all of a sudden I just hear
Oh
noise,
no.
right? The little feet on the like shower
Oh
floor, right?
no.
And I see out of the side of my eye this big black something running. And
Palmetto
so,
bug, probably.
and I'm like, oh my God, hell no. Right. So I jump up and I'm like, I had the wherewithal to lock it in the shower stall, but then I have to wake my poor boyfriend up, who got injured, by the way, that night getting into the hot tub. So he can barely move. Like his knee is super swollen. And
Oh
I'm
no.
like, and I scared the crap out of him, right? So I'm like, get up, Kevin. And so he jumps up, right? He goes, and I don't know what happened to me, but I shut down. I was like in the fetal position. He wanted to kill me, fetal position in the bed. And I'm like, you need to, I think I had a pillow over my head like a psycho. And I'm like, you need to deal with this. I
One,
can
two, yeah.
hear him. I'm trying to
Oh,
hear
gee.
him, right? So he had to walk outside. He finally caught the bug, puts it in the
Uh-huh.
trash. He comes back in and he's like, he's in his underwear. He's like, I'm on video, Deanna, in my underwear with a cup, carrying, limping, right?
It probably happens all the time.
And so like it's stuff like that. Like it is a sitcom. So and he wanted to kill me and I did not shine in that moment. He did. I did not.
Well, there's only so much you can expect in the middle of the night, and you're
I
just
can't do
doing your
all the
thing. And
things. Right,
right,
right, right. It
right.
was a big bug. Yeah.
Yeah, they are big.
Yeah.
We, yeah. Okay. So this getting up in the night, not to segue too far, but have you listened to my episode on hormones?
Yeah. I loved your menopause episode. That was great. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Please talk to your doctor about estrogen because that really has helped that whole situation of not having to
Yeah.
get up in the
And
middle of the night.
the sweating at night it's a little
Yes.
much. I'm all set with that. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah.
That needs to
And
stop
that,
also.
not that you need that, Ashley, but if you're concerned about the germs and sweating in the night, keep that in mind. Just
I will.
She's
file
still
that
not
away.
making her bed.
I totally will. I found this wonderful influencer online, and he has a similar thought about the making of the bed and the germs. And he showed me a lovely way that you can still make your bed so that the sheets can breathe. You like fold it
Okay.
down and you fold it in certain ways, and it looks lovely. And I've been trying that.
Okay. An influencer. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Because
There's an
that's
influencer for
scientific.
everything these
Yeah,
For
days.
exactly.
everything. Yep.
Literally
I'll find an
everything.
influencer that tells you why you need to make the bed. Just give me a day. I'll
Or
find
why
one.
to use a loofah.
Or
That's a
why to use a
rabbit hole.
loofah. Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, so
Give me.
do you have a few minutes to talk about cocktails? Can
Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
okay.
Absolutely.
What are your favorites?
My favorite cocktail is an espresso martini, dark.
Mhm.
I don't like the
Love
light
it.
ones.
I like the light
Um,
Okay.
ones.
So no cream.
Also, I like specifically the recipe that they use from the Harbor Lounge out in Provincetown, Massachusetts.
Very
Mm,
specific.
This is why
okay.
my uncle is friends with the bartender there. So we have
Okay.
always used his recipe, and it's a 3-to-1 ratio recipe. It's very strong.
Okay.
And there have been so many really fun family functions with that 3-to-1 recipe of espresso martini. So that
Okay.
is a very special one for us. But I do love an espresso martini, but not with the
Okay.
what is it in there?
Bailey's.
Baileys? The
Bailey's. What is the three
Baileys.
two?
Baileys.
What
Yeah.
is the three two
Yeah, I
one?
want to know too.
It's I think it's like 3 of the RIP, the
Vodka?
Svedka vanilla. Do you remember that? They
Oh,
don't have that
yeah.
anymore. So they've
Oh,
discontinued
yeah.
that. So
Oh,
now
Yep.
we do the Stoli vanilla,
Okay.
2 of a coffee liqueur, and it's a specific one that I cannot remember right now,
Uh-huh.
and then 1 of the espresso. So
okay.
Okay.
sometimes we have to reduce it a little bit because like 3
Yep.
shots of vodka
Yeah,
is
I feel
Oh,
3
like
yeah.
it's a little light on
shots
the
of
espresso,
vodka.
but all right.
It's a
Yeah.
strong cocktail.
If you can get your hands on Siesta Key coffee rum, that's
Oh.
amazing.
Okay,
Ooh,
we will have to try that.
Yeah.
that sounds yummy.
It's very good.
I also enjoy an espresso martini, but I do like a little Bailey's in it. However, I am really big on, I just went to Puerto Rico with my daughter, sort of like a graduation girls, just a couple nights, and I'm back on a classic margarita. Like it's
Mm.
hitting right this summer. And then
Mhm.
for martinis, I love, 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 love either a pear or a lychee martini.
Mm.
So
Lychee
good.
martini is good.
So good.
Yeah.
And you don't see them a lot. So like I get
No.
really excited when I see it on the menu. So
Do
Yeah.
those
you eat
are
the
Y
lychee? Like,
I
do you
no,
eat
it
the
freaks me
lychee
out.
afterwards?
I don't know, it freaks me out. It looks like a
I was the
Text
jellyfish.
same. I was the
texture
same way
thing?
as you. Yeah, it
Yeah.
looked like a brain, but I actually ate one the other day. I got peer pressured into it, and it was very good.
They're
So
The
if you
delicious.
texture
can
is not
get
weird.
no, if you can get past it, it's kind of like a grape with no skin.
Okay. All
So
Yeah.
right.
next time,
All right. It just looks like the you know what I'm talking like
it
jellyfish
looks
with
like
Oh,
a
yeah,
the
yeah.
brain.
strings. Yeah,
Looks
yeah,
like
yeah.
a
Yeah.
yeah, or like
And
an eyeball.
yeah, right. So, and if I'm doing wine, I am all day every day Kim Crawford. All
Mm.
day every day.
Sauvignon Blanc. Mhm.
Yep, that's my go-to.
Yum, yum, yum. Yep, love it. And I think we talked about the insert of a ring of fresh jalapeno.
Yes, you did
Oh,
mention that.
yes, in
Yeah,
And
the
Ashley's
wine.
Ashley's a
in the
chicken.
Sauvignon Blanc.
I can't
Yeah.
do it. I can't. No, I literally pepperoni makes me sweat. I was out to dinner with my husband last night because my son is at camp this week, and I had a buffalo cauliflower and it was so hot. I was
Yeah.
sweating profusely. I had one. The rest of
Why
the meal,
did you eat it?
I like it. I don't know. I was living on the
It
wild
looked
side. I
good.
was
It
like, oh,
sounded
it
like
looks
a good
good.
idea.
Sweating profusely the rest of the meal. Like my forehead was dripping. It was terrible.
So funny.
Okay, what's a favorite memory shared with girlfriends and your cocktail of choice?
So I have a group of maybe about 10 to 15 girls from college that I am still friendly with. Some of us live together in our areas, some are around the country. And for a couple of years, we were doing an annual girls trip and we would pick random
Mhm.
places and we would all converge and just have the best time. And we weren't doing anything crazy. We were renting a house, making
Mm.
dinner, having some drinks, laughing like our cheeks would hurt from laughing so hard. And we
Mhm.
recently decided that we're going to start picking this up again because all of our kids are kind of at the age where we can leave them again for extended periods of time, and the husbands and partners will be totally fine with that. So we got to pick it up again. But like just the best times, not doing much, just
I feel like I
Yeah.
connecting.
want to invite myself to that.
Yeah, come on. And
Yeah,
we
are
do
you
some
looking
fun
for you
things.
looking to expand? Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, come on over.
I can
We do
hang,
some fun
right?
things sometimes. We went to Galveston, Texas once. I don't know why. We're like, it's
Yeah.
kind of the center of the country. And we decided to do like beer Olympics. We're all like
Oh my God.
33,
That's
34 years
amazing.
old. We had costumes and teams. We took it very
Oh my God,
seriously.
that's
The
Oh,
one,
amazing.
love
yeah,
it.
one woman was pregnant. She was like the grand marshal of the event. And like the referee were so competitive. We all played
Oh my
college
God.
sports. It was
I
like
love it.
insane. All the neighbors were looking at us like we were crazy people. It was awesome.
Perfect. That sounds really fun, actually.
It does
Yes.
So
sound fun.
so my most recent was a good friend of mine actually retired early, God love her, and we've been sort of planning some trips and traveling. And our first go to was Nashville, and it was I think it was last I don't know it was last year or something like that. And oh my God, we had the best time. I mean, talking
Mm.
about like Coyote Ugly. We don't share exactly what happened, but I have videos of it, and it did involve one or both of us on the bar, never to be talked about in detail. And then we did when we first got there, we did this like a golf cart tour, and it was so fun. Like so, it takes us like around the city, and it was stopped at breweries. We were. Like I
Oh,
can't even. It
fun.
was so early, and I had so much to drink, and I'm not a huge drinker at this because I mean, right? And so we did a bourbon. She made me stop at a bourbon. Like it was,
Like a
I think it was Jack
distillery?
Daniels actually, the
Oh,
distillery. And so you
yeah.
go in, and you can just do the tastings, right? And so you
Yeah.
have like the menu, and they give you like the little cups. Oh my God! By the
Yeah.
end of the thing, it
Oh,
was
yeah.
hysterical, and we were just tooling around with this guy giving us a tour on a golf cart. So that was a super fun trip. It was just a few nights, and I can't wait to do more. But our next go to is Amsterdam. We wanna go get a houseboat in Amsterdam and check out the
So
city.
fun.
So it'll be fun. It'll be really fun.
Houseboat too. Wow, that'd be so different.
It's so different. She's like, I just want to
Yeah.
like wake up. And so this is where my princess kicks in. I'm a little particular on where we go. So she's like, let's do a houseboat. And I'm like, all right, but I get to pick the houseboat because
Yeah.
mama's not going
You have
on a girl's
standards.
houseboat. Yeah. And so she just really wants, which I think is going to be so fun, just wake up, have our coffee, sit outside, people watch, have
Mhm.
a cocktail
Oh,
at the end of the
yeah.
night, people watch. Oh, it's
Mhm.
going to be so great. Can you imagine the stuff you're
Oh,
going to see early
mhm.
Yes.
morning, late night? It's going to be
Yes.
a good time. It's going to be great. I can't wait.
In Amsterdam. Yeah.
And Amsterdam alone, right? I mean, come
Yeah.
on. Obviously, we got to check out the red light district. So it'll be funny. It'll be
You'll
fun.
have some stories when you come back.
Sure will.
You won't be able to tell them, but you'll
I
have
won't.
them.
Same thing with the video.
Be a lot of beeping.
Yeah.
Bleep out that part.
I don't know where the rest of that went. Weird. I must have, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Ladies, this has been so fun. I appreciate your flexibility and your openness to coming back
Absolutely.
on and sharing more. And just it's
Of
I
course.
just love talking to you both. It's so fun.
Thank you. Same here. It's been a lot of
Yes.
fun.
I'm glad
Great.
Mercury let us get through this one.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
God. Yes. Yes.
And by the way, have a great wine camp. I know that's coming up.
Yes.
So have
Oh,
so much
thanks.
fun.
Have a great rest
Thank
of
you,
your
All right.
day.
Penny.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
That's a wrap on this episode of Penny for Your Shots. If you loved today's conversation, don't let the inspiration stop here. Get my weekly insider updates straight to your inbox. It's where I spill behind-the-scenes goodies, exclusive tips, and all the fun stuff I don't always share on the podcast. Sign up now at pennyforyourshots.com/insider. I'll see you in your inbox next Thirsty Thursday. Cheers!